Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while. I know I said I was going to be trading over the weekend, but as it turned out, I ended up holding that USD Swiss franc trade all through the weekend, all through yesterday, and I only just got out today. So it's been a brilliant kind of demonstration of how sometimes you can get it wrong, but if you manage it correctly, it doesn't need to hurt, right? The only thing that sometimes does hurt is the amount of time that it takes for you to kind of get out. You've got to be very patient. So let me talk you through exactly what happened. So on Friday, we got in this trade. I think it was on this pullback. So we had this massive push up. I was looking for a continuation. I drew the fib on this and I started my first, probably a little bit too high. It doesn't matter. So that was so each of the blue lines represents a position that I got in on, right? So first position, second position, third position, fourth position. Fifth position was only yesterday. I think Monday morning was when I eventually hit into that fifth position. So all through the weekend, I was essentially only holding that fourth position. Now, there was a few times that I could have probably closed with about $100 loss. There maybe with kind of about $100, $200 loss. Pushed back, tapped in, went up to there. That was about probably about $700. I think my break even was about here where it's actually hit now. Let me just mark that up for you guys. So about here, let me change that to red so you can see. So that was kind of where my break even. So you can see even with a massive push against you, when you're that wrong, you can still break even. And I should have. But let me explain what happened. So today I've been watching this, came back up, push back down, push back up. We had this nice push up over here. And then we had this push back down, another push up. Let me just zoom in over here. And you can see this tail over here. So we had that pushed back down, and this candle here pushed up. It actually came back down. So it looked like a second rejection off of this area. So what I did is I decided to close out there with about, I think it was just shy of $500 profit. $500 loss. So yes, even though I took a loss, it was only a 0.5% loss, which in the grand scheme of things is not such a big deal. But then what happened next? Typical price pushes up to that break even. I mean, I could have even squeezed out a little bit of cash on this one, probably about $200 or $300 on this one, if I held all the way to where it is now. But hindsight is a beautiful thing, isn't it? I would way rather have closed there and still see it go up. And yes, I don't get that, than not close there and then it pushes down and doesn't come back for another 4 or 5 days, pushes lower and potentially causes me to lose my full loss, which would be about a 2.5% loss, right? So we took a 0.5% loss over a 2.5% loss. I'm happy with that. We live to trade another day, and that's what it's all about, guys. It's all about protecting your capital, right? So let me quickly show you what that looks like on the chart here. So you can see there's all my positions. So you can see a few times, there was once there that I took a little bit of money. So another way I could have possibly done this is 2 or 3 times when it pushed up over there, I could have taken some money. When it pushed up again, I could have taken some money. When it pushed up again, I could have taken some money. So with 3 different cases where I could have taken the money and reset, but you've got to be very careful when that 5th position is in. Like I've said before, that 5th position is just for you to just get out. Get out. You're not looking for any money. You just want to get out with the least amount of damage possible, right? So this final position is damage control. Worst case scenario, it keeps going and you take the full loss. But in all of the scenarios I've ever tested, price or the market will always give you a couple opportunities to get out, right? So I saw this as a potential opportunity to get out. Yes, it would have been about $600 loss. And then we had this over here, which was now what I saw as potentially a final position, a final opportunity to get out. I'm not a psychic. I don't know where price is going to go. All of the forecasting, everything is saying that dollar is not too strong at the moment. There's a lot of news coming up. There's a lot happening in the market. So I didn't want to stick around for that. There was news coming this afternoon. I'm too close. If I was only in 2 positions or 3 positions, I'm happy to ride out news. If I'm in the 4th and the 5th position, I want to just get out if I can before news. If I don't have an opportunity, then there's nothing I can do. I got to hold it, right? I made my decision and I'm happy with that, right? So let me show you, we're still $900 in profit. So I've actually, with that stupid trade I took last week, which I should never have done, because without that loss, at this point, I would only be sitting with a total of about a $500 loss. Now, as it stands, we're at about a $900 loss. We were on about 1,800. So this last week has been a bit slower, but hey, we've traded it. I'm happy with how I've traded it. I've kind of preserved my capital. I've not gone under, and we just, we keep hitting play. So in hindsight, I probably should never have bought USD CHF, because if you are to look at the daily of USD CHF or even the weekly, you can see it's generally a downwards moving. It's kind of long term, it's always pushing down, right? And now is kind of the lowest we've been in years, actually a long time. If I go to the monthly, I think it's the furthest it's been in, 2013, even going back to 2013, it didn't get as low. So it's the lowest it's been since 2013. So, there's always a chance we're going to bounce, but you don't want to stick around to see, you want to just take the opportunity when the market gives it to you, because it might not give it back, So that was my opportunity. I saw this wick to the upside there, showing me there was some kind of rejection there, and then it started showing another rejection. So I just closed, and I thought, if it turns around now, it might not come back. So be it. So that's where we are. We keep trading. So now my goal is to just come back from this. I want to try and get to about $2,500, hopefully before the end of the weekend. So we're just going to keep trading. I might get into another position, but we have got news, so it just seems silly to potentially get in on news. I don't mind having my position in with news, but generally speaking, I can't have a pending order that is picked up by news. I've got to already be in. So I've just got to be very careful around news. So, all in all, I'm actually pretty happy with how it turned out. It's the first time since starting the challenge that we have gone into the 4th and even the 5th position. So happy with how I was extremely patient, guys. From Friday all the way to Tuesday, just biding my time, waiting for, an opportunity to get out. And I feel like I took the opportunity. Yes, in hindsight, I could have actually gone to break even or potentially even squeezed a bit, but I would never have looked for money on this. The second we were about 2 or 300, 2 or 100 in loss, I still would have taken it. So probably on that rejection there, I probably still would have taken it. We would have maybe been on about a $100 loss. So, all in all, I'm pretty happy. We continue. What does it look like? Let's have a quick look. What does that look like? So we've had these 2 losses, which is unfortunate. But with that being said, I feel like we've played it all right. Apart from that stupid trade, apart from that kind of random trade that I took where I took a $500 loss in a matter of, 15 minutes. That was not cool, and I'm not going to do that again. So without that, we actually would only be kind of sitting at one big loss. So you can see we have come down a bit since then. We are going to pull back from now. So let's have a look where we stand. Still at a 75% win rate. Profit factor has dropped down a bit, but from now on, we're going to, kind of focus in and kind of try and get this job done. Like I said, I am going to be looking at getting to about $2,000 before the end of the weekend, 2.5 if possible. I've still only got one profitable day, but we've still got a lot of room to breathe. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with everything. Yeah, so that's where we are. That's kind of what we're looking at. And then the other thing I want to say is thank you so much to you guys. I've had a lot of people subscribing since I did call out the giveaway. So thank you very much for everyone who has subscribed. It's great to see. So we might actually hit the 100 subscribers before we hit the end of this challenge, especially at this rate. So keep it going, guys. Keep subscribing if you really want to kind of, get that giveaway. The giveaway is going to be a 50K 5%ers account. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, go back to my previous video. Everything is in there. Have a look and subscribe to the channel, because you subscribe, not only do you get, me potentially trading live, which I will be bringing, but we need to get more interest. But the other thing is you can, there's giveaways. So we started with the first giveaway now. When I hit, like I said, when I hit 500, there's going to be an even bigger giveaway. So make sure you guys are subscribing, sharing with your friends. This is the place to be. This is as real as trading gets. My strategy, I'm super happy with my strategy. Yes, you are going to have tough days like this. And there is probably a lot of people that would not have been able to kind of withstand the drawdown and maybe be as patient as I was. I've traded for well over 8 years. So, I know how to just sit in trades and just let the market do what it's going to do. And I'm also prepared for the full loss because I'm mentally prepared myself. If that happens, I'm still okay. We turn around, we keep going, right? And that is going to happen. There is going to be times that we do take the full loss. But this is where, when I am trading live, I want to make sure that everyone kind of knows what they're getting into. This strategy is very good, but there is going to be times where you're sitting on a trade, a trade like this for 2, 3, 4 days. Got to be patient. You just got to let it ride out and let the strategy just do its thing, right? Because that's the whole point. But yeah, we keep trading, and that's the update for now. So what I'm going to do is, if I bring in, or if I look at any other trades today, I might just kind of take today off, leave it, because it has been a tough, trade. Got out of it, happy with everything, kind of fire up again tomorrow, reset the mind and come back tomorrow fresh. And then I will turn the screen on, record, and you guys will see everything that I get into tomorrow. For those of you guys who do watch this, just let me know. Are you guys interested in seeing some live trades, or at least some live streams where maybe I don't get into trades, but I will be talking about, what I'm doing, what I'm looking at, this, that, and the other. So let me know. Something you're interested in. We can definitely start kind of the interest building. Once we get enough interest, then we can definitely fire that up. I am actually traveling this weekend. I'll be away for a month, but I will continue to trade while I'm away every day if I can. If I've got the time, I'm going to still try and not only trade, but record what I'm doing. Okay, so don't worry about that, guys. Yeah. Again, thank you very much for every one of you guys that have subscribed since my last video. It's great to see we've got that ball rolling again. Super happy to have you guys. Welcome to the Sati Trades family. And yeah, look forward to kind of keep on growing. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.